Hello everyone, my name is Samiksha and welcome to this video. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how much I love painting seascapes. I thought I should give it a try with charcoal pencil as well. So to start with, I outlined the rough sketch of the wave as usual from my reference photo. Since our sketch is black and white, I took a screenshot of my reference picture and opened it in a editing app and applied a black and white filter to it. I also adjusted the brightness and contrast of the picture, and it lets me differentiate the dark and light values of the picture. Before approaching the sketch, I like to analyze the values and know the position of the light source, the shadows, and the reflections. Since this is a charcoal piece, I wanted to cover the darker part with charcoal pencil and the lighter part and the reflections with the white color of the page using an eraser. Currently, I am working on all the dark values first, and once I feel I have captured all the dark values, I will begin to show some lights and reflections. I'm not worrying about the details at all for now. My only aim is to capture the values correctly, as this is what is going to give the piece its dimensions. I'm drawing as many layers I want according to how dark I want to go, and then using a cotton, I rub it all over that part. I'm also using the pigment from the cotton to shade other areas as well. A compressed charcoal will help get a darker shade without going over it with multiple layers. I am not pressing the pencil too hard on the paper because I don't want the harsh lines which are almost impossible to blend. I would rather go over it with multiple layers and then blend it smoothly. To suggest some waves in the ocean that is far away, I am drawing kind of oval shapes or triangular shapes close to each other, where the empty spaces suggest some lighter value. I'm using the pencil in circular motion to create an even layer where I think the pencil marks are looking very abrupt, especially at the ending of the shaded part. Sometimes I don't understand how exactly to approach a particular part. There are some misty areas, or so I go over it mechanically. Like I draw little shapes wherever I see pigment in my reference picture without even thinking that it even looking like what I want to create. I try not to leave that space blank because I think even if you create random shapes over there, it will guide you to approach other parts in terms of space consumed and the values. Whereas leaving it blank won't help that much, according to me. You can eventually work on it in different layers. I think I'm almost done with my first layer of the dark value. I'm using a pointy edge of a eraser to draw the lighter part. I want to play with the pressure I apply on the paper to erase out the pigment as required. If the eraser goes blunt, make a small cut in one of the corners to make it sharp again. You can also use a pencil eraser. I mean the eraser pencil, the one eraser that comes in a pencil form, and you can use the tip of the pencil to erase out sharply. This one is easily available on Amazon. I am looking at my reference and then at my work and decide where to rub. Now at the top of the wave where the water is white, the transition point is quite pointy and the waves are not supposed to be pointy. So I want to move my eraser in circular motion so that I rub off the pointy part and make it relatively blunt. I also use this technique when I see the sharp eraser strokes, and I just try to blend it without affecting the value part much. I like to use very small eraser strokes here and there, especially at the transition point, to suggest some unevenness of the light, because all the eraser markings that we are doing are in the direction of the waves, which makes the work look very two-dimensional. I'm just creating some light and dark areas to the faraway waves where I want them to go eventually. You can actually also use your hands instead of cotton, but make sure they are clean, because the oil on your hands can actually stain the page, and those are pretty much impossible to get rid of once they are on the paper. So wash your hands. So you see what I did there? So I'm going to lighten up some areas a little bit and add in some mist. Later on I'll end up lightening it up even more, still not adding too much details to the work though. I want to add a few more highlights to the waves at the top. I'm going to go back to the lighter waves again. I want to work on them a little bit more and erase away some of the highlights. At this point, I am focusing on what parts I want to make the pencil marks sharp and clear, and where to leave it blur. I am using a scale because I want to keep the edges as sharp as possible. This way it won't be as hard to get the edges clean and sharp, and to get rid of the pencil marks outside of the boundary. I am working in layers and layers on all over the page. I am not working on finishing smaller sections though, so that I get an idea of the work as a whole, and I can compare the different items and know where exactly to work on and how much more I want to work on the whole piece. As of this point, it still pretty much looks like a wave, and I have to decide when to stop working on this piece and how much details more I have to add on it. I will be creating more seascapes and skyscapes. I have uploaded quite a few on my Instagram and Facebook page, which I will link in the description. You know what, I'll separately link the seascape post as well in case you just want to see them. I'm planning on creating more seascapes, mostly with acrylic medium. Let me know if you have any suggestions or want me to paint something in comments down below. Also, subscribe to the channel guys, it makes a huge difference to me and it's free, so go press the subscribe button now. I am quite happy with the work now, so I am cleaning the sides because I want to work more, especially on the top section, and I did not work on that section much because I was unsure of where the boundary line is. I want to share my experience here. After I cleaned the edges, I asked my mother about what does this sketch actually look like. By the way, I did not show her the reference picture, nor did I tell her that I am making an ocean wave. So she said it did look like a wave, but she wasn't sure if it was a sea wave or a sand wave, like a hurricane or something. This made me realize that I have to work on the top part more and add few more highlights and sharpness like water and not something blurry like sand. So this is what the final sketch looked like. I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, do press the like button, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next Friday.